Hello and welcome back to the Kind Regards podcast. I am your host, Zamiwe Mwape. Now, while we can all agree that million-dollar stories are important and inspirational and aspirational, they can feel out of reach for many entrepreneurs and side hustlers, which is why million kwacha stories are just as, if not more so important to share, as they are a key milestone and building block to making that million-dollar dream come true. Sharing her journey to $1 million kwacha revenue is Mwansa Chambalile, who is an engineer and serves as a senior building inspector at the Lusaka City Council by day and an entrepreneur outside of that. Mwansa is the founder of the Black Wallet ZM, a business that sells an actual black wallet designed to help with budgeting. Her business also facilitates money transfers between Zambia and China while offering consultancy and training services to empower African and Zambian businesses in navigating trade with Chinese suppliers. She is also the visionary behind health and fitness brand Your Body Goal, which promotes self-care through nutrition, health, and fitness via its products and services. Speaking of products, Your Body Goal also has subsidiary athletic wear brands, Her Body Goal and His Body Goal. On top of that, and yes, I am running out of breath here, she also recently co-founded a renewable energy company called New Africa New Energy. In this episode, Mwansa talks about how her personal struggle with weight inspired her to launch her wellness brand. She shares her strategies for closing sales and even answers the age-old question, are entrepreneurs born or made? Before we jump into the conversation, I just want to remind you to please rate the podcast, leave a comment, and engage with us on social media. It helps us a whole lot more than you know. With that said, Mwansa, welcome to the Kind Regards podcast.
My pleasure.
Okay, so we're going to kick off with some icebreakers so we can get to know you a little better. You strike me as an adventurous person. What is the most unusual thing you've ever eaten?
Oh my gosh. So they were like termites in China. And I've tasted the frog.
Wow. What was that like?
The frog tastes like fish.
Wow. The termites, I feel like they taste like inswa, no?
Yes, they do actually. But they were battered in a lot of sauce. It tasted good.
Would you do it again?
No. Only because they are actually alive. They put them on a stick and then dip them in hot oil. Yes.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't do it again. But they taste good.
Okay. What's a song that always puts you in a good mood?
What's this song actually? Nicki Minaj? Super Bass. Yes.
Super Bass. Wow, that's a classic.
Like it just picks up my mood.
It hypes you up?
Yes, definitely.
And my last question is, you often speak about legacy and generational wealth. Why are these things important to you?
I think it comes from way back my journey in university. Firstly, generational wealth, because I struggled to pay my tuition, like through my first degree. And I would see my classmates paying their tuition in advance. So I'm asking myself, why didn't my parents plan in advance rather than wait? Then they have the pressure of paying my fees. So I wanted to do something different. And that's what motivated me to get started on, can I have enough money to do what I want when I want to do it? That's the first thing. So that's the foundation of how I think about legacy, or why my approach to building generational wealth is because I want my nephew, my nieces, my children to be able to afford a lifestyle without them struggling about it.
That's lovely. Okay, so let's get into the actual interview. Who is Mwansa, the person, the professional, the entrepreneur, everything in between? Who is she?
On a personal level, I think I'm adventurous. I love water. I enjoy quality friendships, and not one with a lot of friends, but I want to have quality relationships so that I maximize my energy towards the relationships that I have. Passionate about life. I don't want to do anything without passion. If I don't have passion, I have to find it before I execute. That's just me. I'm driven by empowerment, making an impact. I want to have a life where if I spoke to Zamiwe can say, Mwansa. You know, that's just me. I want to have impactful relationships. And I think that's what drives my life into my profession or my entrepreneurship journey. So that's a little bit about my personal life. On a professional side, I am a civil engineer by profession. I'm also a senior building inspector at Lusaka City Council.
I see. Okay.
Yes, and I'm currently pursuing my master's in renewable energy and structural analysis. I know that's on the... I'm graduating this December, actually. So that's
Congrats.
On the professional side. Thank you so much. On the entrepreneurship journey, which is more exciting, actually, because I like to say I'm an entrepreneur by passion and not really by choice. Sometimes I feel like it's a calling, like it's a gift. I just love to be an entrepreneur. And when I speak of loving it, it's simply providing a solution where there is need to be. And my core is really inspired by various aspects. But I'm the CEO of Her Body Goal Health and Fitness. We have His Body Goal Health and Fitness. Together, they make Your Body Goal. So Your Body Goal is like the mother company, and then Her Body Goal and His Body Goal come under. I'm also the founder and the CEO of the Black Wallet Sedel, which is mostly centered around building businesses, building impactful businesses that is for Africa. So that's basically about my entrepreneurial journey. And a new venture, which is renewable energy. I'm co-founder together with 2 Zambians and 2 Chinese. It's a new venture. We launched it actually last year, but this year is where we'll be executing most of it. So I'm co-founder. It's called New Africa, New Energy, and it's centered to provide quality solutions for renewable energy for Africans.
I can't even wrap my head around what your day looks like because you have multiple businesses, you have a full-time job, you are studying your master's. And aside from that, you're also, a person who's got a personal life. And I find it interesting that you say you're an entrepreneur by passion rather than being driven by anything else. My question to you is, do you think entrepreneurs are born or made?
I think entrepreneurs are raised because you grow up to become an entrepreneur, and that process requires foundation, maybe your family, maybe your background. That process requires passion. It's something you don't know, but you learn to become an entrepreneur. And like I say, it also requires passion. You can't be an entrepreneur. Meanwhile, you don't like it. You just want the results of it. You will be frustrated. So entrepreneurs are raised, they are groomed, they are born out of passion. It's got nothing to do with a natural gift. Maybe that could be an advantage. But again, even though you had the natural ability to be a good entrepreneur, you still have to learn.
I love that answer. I've never heard someone put it that way, to say entrepreneurs are raised. I love that. So you've spoken about the different businesses that you have. So basically you have a health and fitness business, and then you also have the Black Wallet. I find the Black Wallet to be a very interesting business in that you have a physical product, which is the wallet itself, which helps people have financial discipline. So you've got a physical product. You've got the aspect of teaching people how to source goods out of China and, like you said, helping establish businesses in the Zambian or African context. And then you also have the money transfer aspect. So I feel like that's a very interesting business because it seems to have a lot going on. And I don't even know if I know everything because for all we know, you've got another aspect coming in. And then you've now got the renewable energy business, which is very important given where we are as a continent, so much load shedding and all of that going on. And then you also have your health and fitness business, which was actually my first point of contact in terms of seeing what you're doing in this space. You have diverse ideas coming together and making something out of them. I'm keen to know what inspired your businesses and how you knew that these are the ones that would work.
That's a great question. Firstly, I have tried out at least 21 plus business models.
What?
Yes, I've sold clothes, I've sold kids' clothes, I've sold adult clothes, hair, books. And I got to a point where I'm doing business for impact. I'm doing business based off experience. I'm doing business based off passion. So to get to where the Black Wallet is and its diversity, I always say eventually it would make sense, but there's no way you can be a good entrepreneur without managing your personal finances. If you can't learn to budget, if you can't learn to manage your money, how in the world are you going to manage a company's money? Remember, you're a CEO. That means you have access to the company's account. You have the final say. Basically, the budget is drawn. You can say, let's go ahead or let's hold on. So if you don't have that insight of where your money is going, your personal life, how much you are budgeting for each month, how are you going to manage a company? So the concept of having a money tracker was the initial plan because that's what I started with. So it's basically a model I've created of my own experience. Usually a company will have personal finance and that's it. Why are they doing consultation for a business? So for me, the wallet is step one. And like I said, my business models are impact related and just transforming you. So if you're able to account for your finances, you graduate and you say, okay, I have this extra money every single month. What is it that I can invest in that will sustain my budget or probably help me in building a legacy? So you get that money, be it you're in a professional career, you have your extras, you get that money and you consult with the Black Wallet to say, I've done my phase one. What's my part two looking like? And that's where the business consultation comes in. I've lived in China. I did my first degree there. So for over, I mostly say my adult life, I was in China and I'm grateful to have been there because I built habits that I have seen help a business sustainable, that will help a business scale, and that will help a business grow. So the Zambia-China trade is then looking for a gap in Zambia and looking for a supplier in China. Remember, we are importing everything, literally everything here in Zambia. Well, now we're improving, but most of what we are using in the business sector, machinery industry, manufacturing is imported. But how do you get quality suppliers? One thing that I learned is there is a product for your budget. So if you're looking for an iPhone for 50 kwacha, 100 kwacha, you will find it. But then for a business and you want to sell quality, you want to understand the opportunities in China and how you can import goods here in Zambia. That's where the Black Wallet now fills in that gap to educate and also to find suppliers for you. At the same time, walk you through the process of making payments, because that again could be a hindrance to why people don't import and export goods, because they just don't know how to go about the whole process. They feel language is a barrier. So that's the platform that we want to give people on the Black Wallet. Additionally, we have the educative part, which is the YouTube, the social media posts, and etc. Now that you've learned how to trade, how do you manage your business? I'm not an expert in the business field, but if I started my first business in grade 8, that's like 2 or 3 decades ago, I surely know a thing or two that will help you build a better business model. And that's the whole concept of the Black Wallet in a nutshell.
I see. And what was the why behind your health and fitness business?
It's a personal journey. I was overweight. I started my fitness journey at 118 and struggled heavily with bad comments about you've gained weight. Are you pregnant? You know, like you don't look attractive anymore. You used to be beautiful. You know, already I'm dark skinned. Then you add fat. So they're really describing you as the fat, dark girl. So that wasn't a comment I would bear. And for some time, I did try to lose weight. I did try to take care of myself. And all I did was do it for people. But I started my personal journey and just loving myself, I opened an Instagram account and named it Her Body Goal because I wanted to be a new person. I wanted to be transformed in a new character, love myself, be confident in my own skin. But at the same time, I wanted to do something about it. Like, in as much as it was painful, it was the reality. Did I look pregnant? Yes, of course I was overweight, So let's do something about it. So I started posting the whole journey on Instagram, and it evolved since 2017 till 2022 when I launched the activewear. So that was motivated by a personal experience of building healthy habits, being confident, and personal self-care.
I'm viewing this in two ways, right? So on one hand, your stories around how you've become who you've become are beautiful in that you seem like the type of person who's basically like, you have a challenge. That sucks. But how do I fix it? Right. So for example, you spoke about how you're in college and you're like, parents are struggling to pay school fees. That sucks. But how am I going to do it differently? The whole conversation around fat phobia, colorism, it's so broad. And I think it's a very problematic thing that we have in society in Zambia. Like, I don't know why you are.
Yes, for you.
I don't know why you are hating on someone's skin tone in Africa, which is full of Black people. And people are very rude about it. But even then, you took something that people were saying to you that was negative and you not only transformed yourself, you're like, okay, fine. Are the comments about my weight fair? How do I feel about it? Let me do something about it. And on top of that, you then created a whole business. And I imagine that your renewable energy business is also coming from maybe a similar place, but maybe the negative being we're having power problems. How am I part of the solution? So to me, it sounds like your mind works in two ways where you receive external cues and you just go ahead and run with it and make it something big. And I feel like, so many people go to China. Not many people come back with what you've come back with, which is basically multiple businesses that are not just beneficial to yourself, but you're also trying to have an impact and help others grow. So I just want to know, maybe I've answered my own question, but how does your mind work? How do you see something and you're like, yeah, this could be a business. This could be something. And you said that you started in grade 8. So I want to know more about that.
Ideally, I have a mindset of I can do everything and anything I want to. And to me, it's also a danger because then I can have divided attention because I feel I can do this. I feel like I can do this. And remember, I spoke about 21 business models. It's because I just felt, there's an opportunity. Let me do this. I can also do this. I can also do this. But now over the years, a year or two, I have learned how to manage my drive. Remember, I told you I'm purpose driven. So if I find purpose, I want to be a part of that. But then there could be a danger with that because you're doing multiple things and you're not being productive. So I've learned how to support people as well. That's how my mind has been working. If Zamiwe is good at something and I want to be a part of, I give feedback. And probably in my network, I'm like, Zamiwe, you can do ABCD. Maybe I don't need the money or maybe I want to be a part of what you're doing. Is it for charity? Is it for business? I've learned how to divide my mind into pouring into other people. That's one thing. So my mind has worked differently over the years, and it's something that I'm learning about myself. I'm very creative. I know that's my strength. So you take me in the modeling industry, you take me in the engineering industry, I will thrive at my creativity. And you would feel like this girl is so good at this. No, I'm just creative. That's one thing that I have learned about myself. So my mind really strives on my strength, and I love to feed what I'm good at. I really don't focus on what my weakness, as in to fuel it, to ask questions like, why am I weak in this area? I go for my strength, and my strength tell me, you know what, you're so good at this. Imagine you are this good in where you are weak. So I'm forced to also push my weaknesses because I focus more on my strength. And my mind really loves to learn. I don't care who you are. You can be someone who doesn't like me. If I want to learn and I tell myself I'm willing to learn, I will learn. So I consider my mind to say, I always tell myself, like, you know what? You haven't explored your superpower of your brain. So allow yourself each and every day to learn something. It's like a software. Every day you have an update. So I'm always looking forward to like, what's new in my mind? What is it that I can do? Comparing last year to this year, I'm like, I've really seen how my mindset has shifted, how I have grown, how I perceive things. And it all comes from a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset. I'm like this. People are telling me I can't lose weight, so I can't lose weight. I'm always challenging myself and questioning what you said, what I think. Is it the reality? And that has helped me grow. That's how my mind works.
I love that. I love that. So Jane is actually the one who had mentioned like, oh, you should interview Mwansa. And one of the reasons why I felt like it was important to have this conversation with you is because you shared journey to making $1 million kwacha. Now, I know that, we love to hear about $1 million stories. We love to have $1 million goals. We love to hear about $1 million businesses, $1 million milestones and stories. And, that's a goal for a lot of people. I feel like it is equally, if not even more important to share the $1 million kwacha stories, which is something that you have done. And for those who are listening outside Zambia, $1 million kwacha in today's currency is about $37,000. $1 million in kwacha, it's about 27 million kwacha. That's what $1 million is. So you achieved $1 million kwacha revenue milestone. Thank you for sharing that story.
Took a lot of courage.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of courage and a lot of effort. So I want to know, what advice would you give to someone who wanted to go from 0 to $1 million kwacha or shillings or whatever, wherever they're listening from? What advice would you give someone who's trying to go from 0 to $1 million kwacha in their business or their personal life, etc.?
Key thing is, firstly, I really believe a lot changes when your mindset is set. I'll break those two words, mind and set. So you've agreed with your mind to say, I will make $1 million. So there are a set of things that you would have to put in place to agree with your mind. So it's a mind and there are a set of things that you would be doing. Okay. So if you want to make 1 million kwacha, it's very easy. I'm trying to make my first $1 million now. And why I say it's easy is it happened right after I lost all my savings.
Wow.
Yes. It happened right after I lost my savings. It happened right after I had a very bad business fallout. There was bad village banking groups. In the same year, I was swindled maybe $5,000 Bitcoin. The same year, there's a company I was working for online that just decided to block me. They didn't pay me. I was on vacation in Livingstone actually for my birthday. And there was another Bitcoin I had just joined 2 weeks before. And the person was arrested and ran away. He was Kenyan pretending to be Zambian. So everything happened right after a huge loss. I had the decision to say this is the worst year of my life and I'm just going to be sad. I'll just be depressed until I recover. But then I told myself that I won't cry. I remember I was with my mom, my friend, and I said, I came here to Livingstone for my birthday and I'll celebrate my birthday. And everyone was looking at me like, is she okay? This girl is pretending,
They're like, it's okay to cry.
Yeah, I was like, I'm definitely going to cry when I reach home. But when I got home, I think the adrenaline was so good in Livingstone. So when we got home, I was just now thinking, oh, wow, my money is gone. What happens next? And I told myself, this is the year I actually want to make $1 million kwacha. And remember, I had no property, nothing in my name. And so I started watching a lot of YouTube videos just to help me. How do you reach $1 million? Is it in cash or is it in assets? What's the best approach? Am I supposed to have the money in my account by saving every single month? And I came across content, I think, that was explaining on business strategies with regards to your business to raise that amount. So what I then did is I earlier mentioned I work for Lusaka City Council, about thousands of employees, So I'm like, okay, by then I was selling perfumes. That was 3 years ago. I was selling perfumes. So I divided the number of perfumes to give me 1 million kwacha. And so I had a goal. Everyone in my department will tell you, you will buy my perfume by force.
You were selling.
Yes, they didn't know what is she up to. I was just giving them every month. I had a product I was selling. And like I said, I needed to divide, let's take 1 million. 1 million divide by 5,000 people, for example. It will give you an amount that you would need to sell a product to each individual. So that's my approach to breaking down your money. You can break it down in months. To get a calculator, you say 1 million. How many people do I need to sell a product for me to be able to reach that 1 million? So that was my strategy. So from the money they were paying, I was now splitting it into bonds. I'll send some to stocks. I'll buy land. And at the end of the year, I'm mounting the assets, mounting the money, the sum of everything gave me 1 million kwacha. So when I say it's very easy, it's just a strategy. You need 1 million. How many products do you need to distribute to give you 1 million? And before you even think of that much, as you are making the profits, pour that profit into investments. That was my strategy. And that's the advice I could give even today to any person who wants to make $1 million kwacha, $1 million. And something I was even reflecting on to say, maybe we use the same strategy, but this time in dollars.
And I also found it interesting that you didn't realize you had met your target till 5 months later.
Yes. I actually didn't know.
I found that very interesting because, I would have been stalking my money every day. Like, how much is it worth today? But that wasn't the case for you. Could you speak to that?
I think I got to a point where, the more money is an obsession for you, the more it runs away from you. I've learned that. But if your goal is just to keep building and working and etc., you will be able to reach those goals without even you realizing you bypassed them, because my target was 1 million. And I think I was in the 1.3s or 4s. One time I sat down on my computer and I'm telling myself, I need to analyze my assets, everything. I was so obsessed on building wealth and not necessarily counting, if that makes sense. I was more of, okay, we did this, now let's do this better. And the results were consistently coming. So by the time it was time to sit down and really just focus on how much have I made, I realized I had bypassed it. So I think the reason I wasn't so focused on how much I have in the now is because I didn't want that to be an obsession so that I get headaches if I haven't. I will get discouraged. So I focused more on the process. And I was so obsessed with the process that the results had come. I didn't even realize it. I was just going and going and going.
So focus on the process.
Focus on the process. The results will definitely come. The results will definitely come.
So 2 things that you've mentioned that I actually want us to follow up on is that you said you were selling perfumes and even now you have businesses. So you're selling products, you're selling services to people. I want to know how you make a sale. How do you go from Zamiwe just seeing your product, whether it's the wallet or your educational service, or I love to work out, if it's your workout clothes, to selling to me? How do you close a sale? I feel like that's such an important aspect of entrepreneurship, because otherwise you're just busy without results. And at the end of the day, I think, you want to achieve your objectives and to have the efforts that you're putting in result into something. Like you said, the process will have results at the end, but how do you get it to have results? So how do you make a sale? How do you go from customer interest to a customer purchase?
That's a good question. And it's really easy to make a sale if you understand your customer's emotion. I go by emotional sales, and I know that's the best strategy ever. If Zamiwe saw Jane wearing cute jumpsuits, and Jane is friends with you, you can relate, because all of a sudden you can see the confidence Jane has. So you want Jane's confidence, not necessarily what she's wearing. So I look at my products. as an emotion. I'm not going to sell you the black wallet. I know you're struggling with managing your money. So what I'm going to share with you is an emotion that will help you feel confident in what you are doing. So all of a sudden, Zamiwe is interested in, oh, so this is how much I spend. Am I so careless? And my communication is, no, Zamiwe, you're not careless. You just need to be aware. What have I done? I've made you feel comfortable with your emotions. So it's basically how comfortable you can be with the emotions that you are facing. And I look for that opportunity to make a sale to you. Maybe you're starting the gym and you walk into our store. And the first thing is, I'm starting the gym. The first thing that I will understand is, where is she at mentally? If I'm just telling, oh, you're starting the gym, we have this, I'm not helping you. So I'm going to find out, oh, it's your first time in the gym. Yeah. Are you shy? You get it? And you're like, yes, I'm shy. Oh, because you're shy. I feel like this would go well because you are shy. So maybe to cover you up, then I'll recommend after you're shy, this will be a perfect fit because you've evolved. You've known everyone in the gym. You are more comfortable with everyone in the gym. This would be a good fit for you. I've offered you 2 products in one conversation. So already you're thinking, I go and come back. She suggested there's one for shyness, one for evolution, gym evolution. Maybe let me just buy the 2. And because I've already communicated and understood where you are at emotionally, it's easy for you to quote, to say, I'm really loving my progress in the gym. Do you have something that will elevate my mood even more? And from there, you would even be comfortable to have conversations with us because we made a sale once. We understand your emotions. We know where you are at. We are able to relate. So for me, emotional aspect in making a sale is key. I need to understand where you are at. I always say, it's okay. My business may not be for everyone, but there'll be an emotional aspect that will bring you back to me.
Of that you are sure?
Yes, I'm very sure. Even now you may feel, oh, I don't go to the gym, but you saw somebody wearing her body go while traveling. Guess what? You will travel one day. And you look at the emotions, the person was happy, even how we would market the product. We really promote traveling, the culture through our product. So you're able to buy eventually, whether it's the black wallet, her body go, you would buy not because I know Mwansa, but because I understand or we understand where you are at.
I see.
So in short, to make a sale, we need to know where you are at. And that becomes really easy. It's like you're graduating. You need a graduation dress. I can't recommend a party dress to you. Otherwise, it doesn't relate with what you want to do. So in sales, you really need to know, I'm buying a dress for my girlfriend. Why? Her graduation is tomorrow. I wouldn't recommend a dinner dress for a proposal. Even you would look at me like, what? So understanding the customer's language, where they are at in terms of mindset, is really key in closing a sale in my journey. And I've seen that has really worked for me.
I love that answer. And I felt like it was important to ask you that because you're like, getting to 1 million kwacha is easy. Just sell. Trust me, everyone who worked with me will tell you that they were buying. And I feel like sometimes for some of us, we are shy to sell. We think that it's cringe. And sometimes you just kind of feel like you're inconveniencing someone with trying to get a sale from them. So basically, we just need to get over ourselves and focus on making the sale. And what I also like about what you described is that you also show a level of interest in your customer. So even if someone walks in, like you said, where you walk in and you're asking them like, oh, okay, are you shy? Is it your first time? That connection makes the customer really feel like a personalized product for them because you are focusing on understanding where they're at emotionally and getting to the bottom of their needs. So I love that. To say this conversation left me fired up is an understatement. And I hope it did the same for you. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to share it with a friend, family member, or colleague who would find it valuable. Next week, we continue the conversation with Mwansa, diving deeper into why she values legacy and generational wealth. She also shares the lessons she learned from her time in China and how they shaped her approach to business. as well as the key skills she's picked up from her role in the civil service that apply in her entrepreneurial journey. Trust me, you will not want to miss this. Make sure you've got your notifications turned on so you're the first to know the moment the next episode drops. You can connect with Mwansa on LinkedIn and Facebook at Mwansa Chambalile and on Instagram at Mwansa Faith Chambalile. I'll also link the handles to all her businesses in the show notes. And of course, do not forget to follow the Kind Regards podcast on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. I wish you an energetic week ahead. Kind regards, Zamiwe.